wild-ish, and she even tried to get help the day of this horrible tragedy.
New details are emerging in the deadly shooting at a Georgia high school last week that took the lives of 4 people and injured 9 others. William Brigham has more.
Jeff, the mother of the 14-year-old suspect reportedly contacted Appalachia High School 30 minutes before the shooting began to warn of a, quote, extreme emergency regarding her son. During a 10-minute phone call, Marcy Gray asked a counselor to find her son, but school officials were not able to locate him in time. This has raised even more questions about how yet another tragedy unfolded, despite some warnings being sounded ahead of time. For more on the latest developments, we are joined by Chase McGee of Georgia Public Broadcasting. Chase, thank you so much for being here. So the mother makes this phone call to school officials saying, please find my son. Do we know anything more about the content of that call or what might have prompted it?
While we don't know much about the content of the phone call, we have some reports from her and her family, the mother and her family, about what might have prompted it. She says she received a message from her son that concerned her to the point where she decided it would be best to call a school official. While we don't know what was in the content, like I said, it obviously prompted them enough to take action that a school administrator left to seek out the algebra class where the suspected shooter was in. However, we know by the time that the school administrator got to that classroom, the shooting started just minutes later.
And apparently there was some confusion because I take it he was new to the school and there was another student with a very similar name that might have caused some confusion.
Right, and that's right. Colt Gray had only been in the school system for a couple of weeks, and of those days had maybe only attended a couple of days of school. And so the school administrator was seeking out Colt, and there was a student with a similar name who came up in some early reports, and that confusion over which student that the school administrator was looking for might have led to some delay in trying to figure out who exactly they were looking for in that classroom.
Are school officials facing scrutiny for receiving this warning, and while they did try to locate him, not perhaps taking more drastic action like locking the school down?
Apology, you guys, for all the background noise and all that. That was back a couple of years when this tragedy happened. You know, that the mom, it sounds almost like maybe the kid was second guessing if he wanted to do this or what, that he reached out to the mom and she called the school and they dropped the ball as well. You know, they didn't lock the school down. They were confused as to which kid they were